Hey everybody, it is Dry Fire Challenge Monday. Today, I'm going to talk to you about objective measurements of your shooting performance, why I think they're super valuable and valid, and we're going to talk about using the timer a little bit, and more than that, we're going to talk about using the Mantis to make you a better shooter and to make you more capable if you have to use your firearm to defend your life. The Mantis X firearms training system attaches to any gun with a rail and to your phone via Bluetooth to track barrel movement every shot you take. Use it to help you be the most accurate, fastest shot you possibly can in a defensive encounter. I use it in my training all the time. So I'm going to start with the dreaded timer. Some people really fear the timer because they think that it means that they suck. Or, they watch some grandmasters doing it in a USPSA or IDPA stage or something like that. And they go, dude, I'm nowhere near that fast and I don't have to be. I hear other people say, well, a gunfight's not a competition. Well, that's true, but actually, that's not true. A gunfight is a competition. Competition's not a gunfight, but a gunfight is a competition. So being fast and accurate with your gun is incredibly important. So if you're gonna use a timer, you gotta match it to a target. So you gotta say, listen, I'm trying to get a hit in so much time on a given standard, and having time drills gives me some more pressure. It gives me something to shoot for. Literally, it gives me a standard to meet. So for instance, when we do live fire classes in the Survive the Fight tour that we do all over the country, we bring the timer. And one of the first things that we do is we check each student's draw to first shot. 5 yards, IDPA or USPSA, down zero, A zone, however you want to call that. We go, look, just want to see, stay inside yourself, don't go faster than you can, but wherever you're carrying right now, draw to first shot, ready, beep. And we just mark it down. This is what you are today. Then we train all day and we check it again. Why? I want to see if you've improved. That's what timers do. They see how your improvement is marked over time. So I don't really care today where you are. You might be draw to first shot 3 seconds right now. That may be what you have, or you may be carrying off body because you don't watch the narrative videos, you don't listen to me, or it just doesn't work for you. And you may be 4.5 or 5 seconds to the first shot. But can we get better at that? Can we find more efficient, more effective means? This is a way that it will tell you. And if you eschew objective measures like this, you'll never get anywhere. So same thing for me with the Mantis, okay? So yeah, you guys know Mantis is a sponsor. They've been a sponsor for around 6 months, and we've done the Dry Fire Challenge now for almost 6 months. We got a few weeks until that'll be complete, 6 months. But I use this sucker every single week. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna say this has been a significant part of me improving significantly as a shooter in the last 6 or 7 months, and having an objective measure. This is my iPad that I take out to the range with me. It's an older iPad mini. It's not super whammadine cool, but I use it because usually I'm using my phone to record and stuff like that. Works great, records the stuff just the same, and then I can use my phone for other stuff. So you can download this to your phone, no problem. It does all the same stuff. But if I'm using my iPad, I can show you that here I can do a Mantis benchmark, and I'm going to throw a picture to my benchmark up here. And you can see, I'm looking at it, but I'll put a picture up there so that you can see it in my history. Let me go find it. That I had a fantastic benchmark this last one. 10 shots, two-handed, unsupported, all that stuff. Average of 96.4. That's pretty fantastic. Really, anything over 90 is great. Really excited about that, and all the shots were really high up there except for shot 7. Why? Well, this is a bit of a concentration drill. I broke concentration, and if I go look at shot number 7, what you recognize is I actually pulled with my finger a little bit, and so it was my follow-through that gave me the 87.6 there, not anything in the pre-op. So that would mess me up if I was shooting quick on the next shot, so that's something to be aware of. How did I know that? I had an objective measure, you guys. And you can use this tool even for like a draw to first shot, because you can use the compressed surprise break app, and we're also working with the Mantis guys to get one in here in particular that you can set a part time and get 2 beeps and have a draw to first shot app in here. Now, of course, they don't have that right now. They don't have the magazine adapter for my HKs, so you got to use the universal magazine adapter on that. But if you got a Glock or an M&P, they have the magazine floor plate adapter. Just pop your magazine floor plate off, put the Mantis one on, put it on your magazine base plate, and go to work. Put the gun in the holster, get it out and rock and roll. This kind of thing really helps. more than even that, if you look at what was your benchmark 6 months ago to today, or what was your benchmark 6 weeks ago, and then you do 6 weeks worth of work, and then you do that benchmark again, and you can see what are you improving upon, what is getting better for you, and this kind of stuff is really important, and that's why I continue to use the Mantis. That's why I continue to use objective tools like this, and why I really value them as a shooter. So how does that objectively pay off? Well, I mean, if you look at me as a shooter, say November of this last year, and then me as a shooter in June of this year, I've been working on my skills. And Mantis has been a big part of that. So has timer, so has taking classes. Those are all part of things. Getting to the range and doing my dry fire work every single week. And I gotta tell you, the dry fire challenge that we've done and having our group, you know, we got a group in the Mantis app called the ASP Dry Fire Challenge Group, super creative, right? And having friends in there that go, oh, John, are you getting your shots in every week, is really helpful for me. That makes me recognize, okay, wait a minute, I gotta get my work in because other people are working around me and encouraging me and those kind of things. But back to the point, we shot the Rangemaster Instructor Reunion qualification back in November, and we had 50 shooters in that class, and I took 13th, top third, right? Like, okay, and this is a high quality group of shooters, man. There's master and grandmaster qualified people in there. There's really high level shooters in there, and so to take 13th, I was perfectly happy with. I was very proud of. And then we went and we shot again, and you know, I'm shooting with some of the same guys on the line, guys like who are friends of mine, like Brian Hill, who can really shoot, like Tim Reedy, who can really shoot. Guys like John Murphy, who can shoot, man, and shoot the lights out, and a bunch of others, okay? Some guys that maybe aren't household names, but have multiple classifications of GM and USPSA. Dudes can flat shoot, and ladies too, flat shooters, right? So I shot really well, and I just thought, you know, I was reminded from some friends, just be process-oriented, John. Don't be outcome-oriented, be process-focused, and just get your hits. So, oh man, I was driving the gun out there and getting my hits, and I did very well. I went from 13th to 2nd out of 30 shooters the second time. So I guess if we had 50, those other 20 could have been all better than me. But, you know, percentage-wise, I moved up significantly, and the top shooter was an incredible guy who deserved to win 100%. I don't know that I could have beat him if I'd had everything awesome. And I'm going to tell you where I really improved. So I had an objective measure, just so you can see it. I had this objective measure in the fact that my Rangemaster qualification, you know, Tom shoots a Rangemaster qual for all those people, about the same. In fact, I shot a little bit worse on my Rangemaster qual. I threw one shot, super frustrated, but it is what it is. And then we shot the 5-yard roundup. And I shot the 5-yard roundup about the same as I've always shot it. We shot the bullseye course last time. I did really well on that. So I was about the same. But where I made a significant improvement was on my casino drill. Now, if you've ever watched the casino drill, it's 6 targets. You shoot it at 7 yards. It's draw from concealment. You got 7 rounds in the gun. You got to shoot the targets by their numbers. When you run out, you reload. There's 2 reloads in it. And there's time penalties for missing. Well, the par on that is 21 seconds. And in November, I hit that 21-second par, and I was right underneath it. So, okay, fine. That was my standard. I'm at the par. Life is good, right? Well, this time I hit it in the mid-16s. And so taking 5 seconds off of my casino drill, and honestly, that was just because I can see my dot faster. That's the bottom line. I've been working in dry fire so much that presentation, bang, bang, and then I'm moving and finding the dot faster so that I can work my trigger better. And I'd work just a little bit on my reloads. I'm not a big reload guy, but I worked on it a little bit. And that took 5 whole seconds off. That's what moved me significantly up. That gave me 2 objective measures. Now here's the funny thing. The guys who were at the very tippy top and the guys who I really respect are not at 16 seconds, they're down around 13 seconds or 12 seconds even at the really high level. So I got some work to do, and I'm certainly no, crazy hand with a gun, but an objective measure really helped me. So guys, get an objective tool like this. This week, I'm just going to encourage you to train on an objective measure. Whatever that objective measure is, if you're going to use a Mantis unit, and I recommend the Mantis unit incredibly highly because it combines so many good things that let me train with objective measurements that give me a history that I can see and say, okay, over the last umpteen practice sessions, this is what I've had, this is what it's done for me, this is where I've made it, this is what I'm doing to improve, here's how my scores, whether in accuracy of a flat muzzle or in time, are improving. Use this, and use this too. Use a timer, man. Get that timer out, and even if you're just setting this to 2 beeps and drawing from concealment and rock and roll, or you're working on something else that gives you a feedback of time, or you go to the range and go, oh, okay, well, you know, hey man, can I hit this target this fast at this distance? And whatever you are today, then work on the skills, chunk them, that'll get you there tomorrow, and a timer can help you do that. So here's our dry fire challenge. Be objective. Get something objective this week. Get a number of reps with it this week. I'm not even going to give you a set number of reps. If you want to do 50 reps, if you want to do 100 reps, however that works for you, do the number of reps that works right, but do something with some objective measure this week to get better as a shooter, to not only track yourself this week, but next week and the week after. Hope you guys have a great week.